Joining me now is Aquilino Gonell, former Capitol Police Sergeant and author of American Shield, the immigrant sergeant who defended democracy. Sergeant Gonell, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I want to first start by asking you how you are. I did ask you that off camera, but I wanted just to let our viewers know how you're doing. You've been through a lot.
I'm doing good compared to where I was 3 years ago. A lot of mental health therapy and physical as well. But I'm able to do a lot of things that I thought I was never going to be able to do that again physically.
Yeah.
Like playing basketball is something that I'm grateful now that I use as a way for me to cope with my PTSD, and it helps.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're able to do that. You brought something that I want you to show us what that is.
Well, this is a reminder for you guys and your audience. Not for me, because I had these scars and injuries to remind me every single day when I try to do certain things or put my shoes on. These are things, shards from the tunnel entrance of the Capitol where I defended that day. And I think for you guys to see it and maybe you could show it to Republican Speaker Mike Johnson, because last week he was hosting the guy who sent the mob to tear down and knock down some of the doors of the Capitol where I almost died. And instead of receiving the officers with that type of welcome, him and his party, a lot of elected officials from the Republican side, they embraced Donald Trump on that day, last week, and not the officer who defended them.
Yeah, and who had to still defend him and walk him through the Capitol and them, and they were siding with the insurrectionists as well. This idea that the Supreme Court could reduce the sentences of some of these people, and some of these people are in, there are 1,400 people who were charged originally. There are 151 who were convicted. 886 were sentenced. The percentage of people sentenced who have received prison time is 64%. The number of people charged with this obstruction of official proceeding is 260. If the Supreme Court were to reduce their sentences and to give Donald Trump immunity from prosecution, what would that say to officers like you?
Well, it will be desecration of the sacrifices that we did on January 6th. And it's something that happened because Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, and his MAGA allies have continued to degrade the judicial system to the point of aligning themselves and trying to excuse and downplay what happened on January 6th. It would tell us that what we did on January 6th, we are being seen kind of like the bad guys, because when you have them saying that they are hostages, warriors, and things like that, so, you know, it creates a moral injury, and creates also something that where we cannot do our job impartially, because how am I supposed to do my job, or the officer is supposed to do their job, if they had to look for the threat in front of them and also the members of Congress who don't have the best interest of the officers or downplay what happened on January 6th. So it goes, it has a lot of ramification, and most of them will be negative ones.
And do you have friends that are still, working at the Capitol who feel that way, who feel that the people I'm guarding don't care about me? Yeah. They care about the people who tried to kill me.
True. I mean, I on a regular basis, I speak to some of them. Some of them still my friends, and they do tell me that, like, last week they felt sick to their stomach. It was like kind of like an abusive relationship, they have, condoning what happened. Seeing Mike Johnson and all these senators last week holding hands with the same person who made their lives run for their lives on January 6th, and giving him a hero's welcome, as if nothing happened. The only reason why they are alive today is because action that the officers, like myself and my colleagues, did on January 6th. Not because the guy who they are receiving as a hero didn't do anything to keep them safe.
Yeah.
For God's sake, he's the one who sent them to the Capitol, and here they are embracing him like nothing happened. They're okay with having a dictator or a authoritarian person because is there somebody from their party? That's not democracy. That's not what we defended on January 6th. Look, I went to Iraq. I was deployed in Iraq in 2004. And I went to fight for democracy. That's what we were told at that time. And here we are in the United States 20 years later. And the party who sent me over to Iraq are supporting somebody who wants to be a dictator.
Yeah.
That should be striking. Yeah. And you should fear that because it's nothing good will come out of that.
Sergeant Aquilino Gonell, I want to say thank you from my heart and from this show and from all the people who are watching here for what you and your fellow officers did. We believe that you are heroes because we have good sense and we understand democracy.
Thank you. If I may, one last thing.
Sure.
Also, Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, is still holding down in committee the plaque of the January 6 officers who should be placed in the tunnel of the Capitol before the next president and future president see it before they take off, where they will read the name of the officer who risk it all to defend the Capitol of the United States.
Thank you for making that clear. We will absolutely follow up on that story. Thank you very much.